1 second.
Sharper the lines.
All spiritual, man. You know? So we checking the feed. Bear with us 1 second, man. All right? Hey, Shalom. GMS Charlotte, back at you live in effect with another midweek camp. Before we get started, we want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakak Wadash. A double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught us his truth. Double salutations to all you Akim out there laboring, the house of David, the elect, is pushing his word with all truth, righteousness, and sincerity. Shalom to you, brothers. Shalom to the elect out there, man. All right, keep the hope alive. We almost out of here. We're the time of the end as we go into week in and week out. Ezekiel, the 3rd chapter, 17th verse, told us to give them warning from me, right? So ultimately, we were set up to warn the shit out of you, straight up. And it's not going to stop, man. The prophets are out here blowing forth the trumpet, man, right? So as me and the brother was talking, the angels are in order, right? The angels are out here doing the will of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. And that's one thing that people in the world don't understand, right? When it comes to the left hand and the right hand, right? When I say the left hand and the right hand, I'm talking about the angels on the left and on the right hand. They do the bidding of the Father, man, right? There's no angels out here operating on their own will. You see what I'm saying? You know how they tell you in the world, you know, Satan and his angels rebelled in heaven. They were kicked out of heaven, you know, came upon the earth, the Nephilim and all that shit, had sex with women and created giants and shit like that, man. All right, that's all mythology. That's all madness, man. All right, the angels of the Lord, the angels of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai are in perfect order. Real quick, let's go to Proverbs. Is it 1 and 21? Yep.
It's Proverbs 21 and 1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord.
Yep.
As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will.
Right, so the king's heart, right? Really the kings of the earth, if you will. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, and he turneth it whithersoever he will. So it's the Lord that's orchestrating everything, man. The Lord is the one that's orchestrating everything, all right, that's going to lead to World War III, right? He's put the spirit on the elites, all right, to accelerate their plans, all right, to push forward the CBDC, which the CBDC is really what? The infrastructure to the MOTB. You see what I'm saying? So all these things are on deck, all right? The microchip, right? A translation into a new way of buying and selling. But it's the Lord that put it on the minds of these kings to do this. Because like our elders and apostles say, the RFID chip is not the so-called white man's chip, it's the Most High's chip, right? And that's going to be the separator, man. Because the Lord is going to use that to separate the elect from the 2/3. So let's read it again.
Proverbs 21 and 1. The king's heart is in the hands of the Lord.
Right, that word heart in the Hebrew, la'ah, which is your mind. Right? What's up, brother? Shalom Bakir. You know? Come on, get on in, brother. Read again, huh?
Proverbs 21 and 1. The king's heart is in the hands of the Lord.
So the king's mind is in the hand of the Lord. This is the Lord's movie. It's the Lord's script. Right? Get that one in real quick in Proverbs. It's a Proverbs 16 and 4. How the Lord basically is to control everything, even the evil. Roughly paraphrasing. Right? Because at the end of the day, right, the Lord is in full control of the whole entire spectrum, man. Right? Nothing happens on his own. It's the will of the Father in every aspect of things, you know?
It's Proverbs chapter 16 and verse 4.
Yep.
The Lord hath made all things for himself.
See that? The Lord hath made all things for himself. Go ahead.
Yea, even the wicked for the day of evil.
Even the wicked for the day of evil. Right? So the Lord is the one that's behind the microchip. The Lord is the one that's behind Jacob's trouble, the hour of temptation, man. The Lord is the one operating all these things. This ain't of Satan himself, as the world would like you to believe. that Satan is his own power. He's doing shit on his own will, right? Hey, Satan is an employee of Yahweh Shema Shah, man. Right? To prove that, go to Job, the second chapter, man. You know, there's not this great epic battle in the heavens where you got so-called Jesus Christ, right, going toe-to-toe with Satan, man. Right? That's of the world, man. Right?
The Lord, he controls both sides, man. You know, the master chess player controls all the pieces, man.
That's it.
You know, but Esau Edom will have you believe that he controls his own piece, man.
Exactly.
But he's always getting moved to where the Lord needs him to be for prophecy's sake, man.
Exactly. Chess pieces. Go ahead, Doc.
It's Job chapter 2 and verse 1.
That's right.
Again, there was a day when the sons of the Most High came to present themselves before the Lord.
The sons of the Most High go back to the angels. So they came to present themselves before the Lord. Go ahead.
And Satan himself, and Satan came also among them to present himself before the Lord.
Yeah, so Satan was there. So imagine this, the Lord was having a council amongst the angels, and Satan was there. Go ahead.
And the Lord said to Satan, "From whence comest thou?" And Satan answered the Lord and said, "From walking to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it."
Go ahead.
And the Lord said unto Satan, "Hast thou considered my servant Job?
Yep.
That there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and upright man, one that feareth the Most High and escheweth evil. And still he holdeth fast his integrity, although thou movest me against him to destroy him without cause."
Right, go ahead.
And Satan answered the Lord and said, "Skin for skin, yea, all that a man hath will he give for his life."
Right, so basically, when you read the beginning of this chapter here, as we're reading, the Most High, the Heavenly Father, is having basically like a bet with Satan, man, to basically bring him through temptation and trials, but don't kill him. You know, basically try his integrity is what the Lord was saying. Go ahead. And we're in that same position as Job. You know?
Verse 4. And Satan answered the Lord and said, "Skin for skin, yea, all that a man hath will he give for his life. But put forth thine hand now, and will touch his bone and his flesh, and he will curse thee to thy face."
Right. So Satan's saying that, like, look, basically after he does this to Job, he gonna curse you. Right? Go ahead.
And the Lord said unto Satan, "Behold, he is in thine hand, but save his life."
Yeah, don't kill him. Do what you're gonna do, but don't kill him. Go ahead.
So went Satan forth from the presence of the Lord to smote Job with sore boils, and from the sole of his foot unto his crown. And he took him a potsherd to scrape himself withal, and he sat down among the ashes.
Right, so that's the point. So as you read the story, you know Job went through his trial and temptation. But the point we're making here is that Satan ain't operating off his own power, man. Right? He wasn't that rebellious angel in the heavens, all right, that rebelled against the Father and got kicked out, man. Right? Satan is an employee of Yahweh Shema Shai. He's an angel on the left-hand side doing the bidding of the Father. All right? That's easily to be understood. Right? So once again, the angels on the right and the left, the right hand and on the left-hand side are in complete order, man. Right? Let's go to Joel, the 3rd chapter. Right? Because we just talked about Proverbs 1 and was it 21? That the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, and he turneth it whithersoever he will. Right? Everything is off the will of Yahweh Shema Shah. Go ahead, Doc. Yeah, you can start. Go straight to the point. Wake up the Gentiles. Wake up the mighty men. It's like Joel 3 and try like verse 6, 7, somewhere in there. Wake up the mighty men. All right. Yep. Start at Joel. Yeah, Joel 2 and 9. Joel 3 and 9. Salaki.
So Joel chapter 3 and verse 9. "Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men."
Yeah, so once again, proclaim ye this amongst the Gentiles, the heathen nations. Wake up the mighty men, prepare war. This is the Spirit of the Lord. Okay? The Spirit of the Lord is upon these world leaders to what? To enact World War III. This is going to happen in your lifetime, whether you believe it or not. Right? The fire is set. The second death is set. Right? Revelation, the 7th chapter. The angels, what are they doing? They're holding back the destruction. All right, into what? The elect be sealed. So we're in this, right now in this day and time, we're at that point of prophecy. If you have the Spirit to see that. Go ahead, Al.
Joel 3 and verse 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles.
That's right.
Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men.
Right. North Korea, Russia, China, who else? Iran, the BRICS. All these nations are ready for war. That's the only thing that's been talked about, man. Right? These nations are preparing war against Babylon, man. Against the Western realm. Right? Hey, Shalom. Go ahead, Al.
Wake up the mighty men.
Yep.
Let all the men of war draw near.
Let all the men of war draw near, man. Right? It's a very intense spirit amongst these nations right now, man. Isaiah 13, hold that. Isaiah 13 and give me verse, read down from the top to like verse 4.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 13 and verse 1. The burden of Babylon,
Yep.
which Isaiah, the son of Amos, did see.
Uh-huh.
Lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain.
Yeah, this truth. This word, lift you up a banner upon the high mountain. The high mountain is America. Mountains represent major governments. So this word is being raised up upon that high mountain. In America is where this truth came out of, man. Right? Started going back to 1 West. Right? Go ahead.
Exalt the voice unto them. Shake the hand, that they may go into the gates of the noble.
Exactly. So this word is going up to the nobility, the princes of this world. All right? Go ahead.
Verse 3. I have commanded my sanctified one.
Right. The sanctified ones is us, the prophets. Go ahead.
I have also called my mighty ones for mine anger.
See that? I have also called my mighty ones. The mighty ones are the angels. The Lord said, I have also called my mighty ones for my anger. Right? Because the angels do the bidding of the Lord. Go ahead.
Even them that rejoice in my highness.
Even them that rejoice in my highness. Go ahead.
Continuing on, verse 4. The noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together.
Yeah, that's that tumultuous noise. That's in the mountains, which is amongst the other governments, the mother nations. The tumultuous noise that the nations, setting forth the preparation of war. Right? That's the noise. Right? Go ahead.
The Lord Yahweh of hosts mustereth the host of the battle.
You see how it keeps coming back to Yahweh by Shema Shai? Right? It said, read that last part again.
The Lord Yahweh of hosts mustereth the host of the battle.
Right. The Lord Yahweh of hosts mustereth the host of battle. All right. That word mustereth goes back to what? The gathering of troops, soldiers. So it's the Lord that's doing it. Once again, the king's hand is in the heart of the Lord. In the hand of the Lord, Salakia. Right? That was the point anymore in there?
Yes,
Go ahead.
verse 5. They come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even the Lord Yahweh and the weapons of his indignation.
Yeah, that's the prophecy. That's why the missiles are called what? Intercontinental. Right? Intercontinental ballistic missiles. Right? These missiles can be shot from one end of the world to the other. What's it called? Hyper supersonic missiles, man. Go ahead.
To destroy the whole land.
And what whole land is going to be destroyed? America. All right, Babylon the Great. All right, pursuing the prophecy, this whole land is going to be decimated, man. Without inhabited, as the scriptures say, man. There's not going to be no survivors. So the idea of having a doomsday bunker, these celebrities spending multi-millions to get a bunker, a house under the ground is all in vain. It's all useless because the Lord said there will be no survivors of Babylon once this destruction takes place. Right? So the Lord has all in a strong delusion. Right? If you ain't part of the elect, you ain't gonna make it, man. Because the elect, the only way they're gonna make it from that destruction You got to read Isaiah 26 and 20, right? Enter into my chambers, until the indignation be overpassed, right? The elect are going to be taken up. They're going to be abducted, all right, into what the world calls, ignorantly calls UFOs, which are the chariots, man. Those angelic vehicles from the heavens. That's how the elect are going to be saved from that destruction, man. There ain't no other solution.
Only solution is Yahweh Shah. His name is He Delivers.
That's right.
You know? What are we trying to be delivered from? The destruction that's going to come upon the whole world for wickedness.
That's right.
And the vain thoughts, the abominations, the filthiness done in the land. You know? These people haven't repented from their ways. They don't want to turn away from this lifestyle. They love this shit. So if they love it, the Lord going to let them drink of that cup of destruction.
Right. Yeah, bring it up.
It's Isaiah 13 and verse 1 in the Good News Translation. This is a message about Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amos received from the Most High.
That's right.
On the top of a barren hill, rise the battle flag. Shout to the soldiers and raise your arms as the signal for them to attack the gates of the proud city.
Ooh.
The Lord has called out his proud and confident soldiers to fight a holy war and punish those who he is angry with. It says, listen to the noise on the mountains, the sound of a great crowd of people, the sound of nations and kingdoms gathering. The Lord of armies is preparing his troops.
And that gathering also is going to take place where? As we're going to read that back in Joel, the 3rd chapter, the Valley of Yahweh Shaphat, so-called region of the Middle East, right? That's where it's all going to be going down at, man. Mr. World War III, and then Yahweh Shai is going to appear on the scene at that time.
It says, the Lord of armies, verse 5, is preparing his troops for battle.
Man.
They are coming from far off countries.
Right, it said the Lord is preparing his troops for the battle. When you read Joel, the 2nd chapter, the missiles is likened unto his troops, right? It says that his camp is great. Get that real quick, Joel 2, right? See, all things are used for the Lord's purposes, man. So those missiles is like the Lord's army too. His spirit gonna be on those missiles, man. Right?
Look at Joel. Joel chapter 2. And I started at verse 1. Joel 2 and 1. Blow ye the trumpet in Zion and sound an alarm, and my holy mountain.
That's right.
Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble. For the day of the Lord Yahweh cometh, for it is nigh at hand.
That's right.
A day of darkness and of gloominess.
Yep.
A day of clouds and of thick darkness. As the morning spread upon the mountains. A great people and a strong, like hath never been ever the like, neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many generations.
So we're about to see, the full wrath of Yahweh Shai hit the lands, man.
Yep.
And it's never going to happen again, man. That's why when you hear the apostles and elders talk about how these missiles weren't made to just go in museums, man. Every single last one of these missiles has a predestined destination, man. So they're all going to be used, and they're going to hit all Babylon the Great and its subsidiaries, man.
That's it. That's it.
Verse 3. A fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth.
That nuclear fire, man.
Continuing on. The land is as the Garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness.
Man.
Yeah, and nothing shall escape them.
Nothing.
Verse 4. The appearance of them is as the appearance of horses, and as horsemen, so shall they run.
Yeah, that horsepower, that power, that supersonic power within them missiles as they unleash them warheads, man.
Yeah, you think about like the cavalry, charging into the battle, man.
Right.
That's the way these missiles are gonna look. The screams of the warriors are gonna be, seen by all these people, man.
Continuing on. Like verse 5. Like the noise of chariots on the top of mountains, shall they leap, like the noise of a flame of fire that devoureth the stubble,
Yep.
as a strong people set in battle array.
Yep, and like it's a strong people set in battle array, meaning battle formation, like the brother said, like a cavalry rushing into battle, right? It's going to be dramatic, Go
They
ahead.
got they got the videos of, you know,
Good evening, gentlemen.
like the videos.
It's great to see your smiling faces out here. I'm sure you're glad to see me, right? It's not like I'm a racist or
And
anything,
they'll
right?
come over like a
Good evening,
like
gentlemen.
cowboys. Like you'll have the lines of those different missiles just following you. You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly how those troops come in.
Right.
You know, in line formation, like how they have in the military. They operate with the lines and everything.
Yep. Everything's gonna be in order.
Continuing on. Verse 6, before their face, the people shall be much pain.
Scorched.
All faces shall gather blackness.
All faces shall gather blackness. These people are gonna be turned to a fucking crisp. Right?
Verse 7, they shall run like mighty men. They shall climb the wall like men of war.
Yep.
And they shall march every one of his ways, and they shall not break their ranks.
All right, they're not gonna break the ranks. The missiles, ultimately those warheads, when they fall, they're gonna be in formation, man. They're not gonna be crashing into each other. They're not gonna miss the target. Understand, as we read on, it's the Lord's Spirit that's gonna be on the missiles, man. Go ahead, Al.
It's heavy that Joel, he made mention of they are light. He's showing you that this is symbolic. Like as the brother said, the battle formations, you know, when the missiles shoot out, how they come into the atmosphere and they break out. You know, he's comparing that to the likeness of men. We're preparing for war. Continuing on. Verse 8, neither shall one thrust another, they shall walk everyone in his path.
Yep.
And when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded.
That's right.
Verse 9, they shall run to and fro in the city, they shall run upon the wall, they shall climb up upon the houses, they shall enter in at the windows like a thief.
Yeah, the scriptures tell you that in Isaiah, was it 24? For the windows on high are open. So they shall enter into the windows as a thief, going into the firmament, the atmosphere. When the missiles come out the silos, they go into the heavens, and then the warheads come down. That's the description Joel was given as he saw that destruction. Go ahead.
Continuing on. Verse 10, the earth shall quake before them.
Yup, the earth shall quake before them. Go ahead.
Amen.
The heavens shall move, the heavens shall tremble. The sun and the moon shall be darkened,
Yep.
and the stars shall withdraw their shining.
You got to understand the fallout, right? The fallout, the mushroom cloud, darkness, man. The skies are going to be covered, the sun blotted out. You know?
Then even with that, you gotta have the fathership and the numerous chariots covering up the skies as well.
God.
So you ain't finna see shit. You know?
Right.
Continuing on. Verse 11. And the Lord Yahweh shall utter his voice before his army.
See, the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashim Awashai, shall utter his voice before his army. See that? Go ahead.
For his camp is very great.
See that? Camp is very great. That's the missiles is his army. Go ahead.
For he is strong that executeth his word.
Uh-huh.
For the day of the Lord Yahweh is great and very terrible. And who can abide it?
Yeah, the Lord, the day of the Lord is great and very terrible. Who can abide in it, man? Who's going to survive? All right, as it is written, the only survivors are the elect. Right? As far as the rest of the world, they doomed. You don't stand a chance. You see? Go ahead, Doc.
Just gotta put this.
Yep, you got it.
Proverbs chapter 21 and verse 1. The king's heart is in the hands of the Lord.
There you go, bring it out.
As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will.
Right. The Lord is in control of everything. So you have people that'll walk up and say, well, I mean, why would these people want to press the button and destroy themselves? Because the Lord gonna put the spirit on them to do so.
Right.
If brothers can remember that film, X-Men Apocalypse, when Apocalypse had got that power of Charles Xavier, and he was able to tap into the minds of those nuclear scientists, and they pressed that damn button, and everybody like, what the fuck going on? That's exactly how the Lord is gonna have it when he deemed the time necessary to let those nukes come out them silos. He's gonna put a spirit upon those scientists to do so, man. They're gonna be accurate with the key turn. They're gonna press the button when they're appointed to, And they're gonna have those nukes come out the silos, man. And they're not going to stop. There's no pulling them back. All right. As we read at the very end of verse 11, for the day of the Lord, Yahweh is great and very terrible, and who can abide it? You ain't gonna be able to abide the day of the Lord. The Lord has a set day of judgment to come to pass. There's nothing that you can do to turn it away, other than get on the right footing. If you got sense.
Right. All right, I appreciate to add on to what you said. 2 Ezra 16 and 13, it says, for strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow, which is the missiles. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp and shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. Behold, the plagues are sent and shall not return again until they come upon the earth. See that? Because the missiles are part of the plagues. It says, the fire is kindled and shall not be put out till it consume the foundation of the earth. Like an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer returneth not backward, even so the plagues that shall be sent upon the earth shall not return again. Woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? So you know Ezra, the prophet Ezra, he saw the destruction, you know? And he most likely he's back on earth now. That's why he said, woe is me, who's going to deliver me in those days? Right?
The prophets were all told that they would come back in the latter days, you know, to fulfill their lots in these times.
Ooh, get that in Ezra, the 4th chapter. It says, verse 18, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars. See? The beginning of wars and the powers shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils, what shall I do when these evils shall come? Right? So that's the question we pose to all you scoffers and unbelievers out there. What the hell are you going to do when this happens? What's your solution? Is that y'all try to talk about us? Well, what y'all going to do? Y'all going to be in the same predicament. But we got faith, man. We going to hope in the Lord that we get delivered up. Right? You trying to flee the country, go on the ground, whatever it is, ain't going to work out for you. And you're going to find out in that day that you were grossly mistaken when it all goes down. That's it.
And just like brothers go into, the Lord's going to remove those demons that's blocking your mind in those times. In that time, those spirits that are blocking you from seeing this, you're going to have full understanding of why you're receiving the judgment that you're getting, man. Because at that point, the spirits have already accomplished their mission, man. You know, they got you to where you're about to receive judgment, man.
Right.
So now you're gonna have that moment of clarity, you know, once that nuclear fire hits, man.
Second Ezra.
You got to go ahead.
Second Ezra chapter 4 and verse 32. And when the ears shall be cut down, which are without number, how great a floor shall they fill?
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a lot of death, man. Go ahead.
Then I answered and said, how? And when shall these things come to pass? Wherefore are our years few and evil? And he answered me, saying, do not thou hasten above the Most Highest, for thy haste is in vain to be above him, for thou hast much exceeded. Verse 35. Did not the souls also of the righteous ask questions of these things in their chambers, saying, how long shall I hope on this fashion? When cometh the fruit of the floor of our reward?
Yeah, how long are we going to hope on this fashion, you know? We read the prophecies, we like, when is it going to happen? How long are we going to be under these heathen? How much more longer are we got to continue to see wickedness, man? See our people wax worse and worse. Can you get that in the good news? I'm just curious to see what it says. 2 Ezra 4 and 35, and I'm going to have you read down Itaz. Yeah, I'm going to have you keep reading. I'm going to bring that out in the good news real quick. Because it said, how long, Ezra's asking the Lord, how long shall we hope on this fashion? Because the prophets always inquired when the kingdom of heaven was going to be established, when we were going to receive the reward. You know, when are these covenants that have been promised to us, when will they come into effect, basically? You know? And that's the same spirit. Like you say, you know, we wonder in our chambers, like, damn, you know, when is it going to come?
Scriptures speak about how when you store your treasures, there shall your heart be also.
That's right.
So the minds of the prophets And then now, they were always focused on the kingdom. They knew that they were yearning for a system of righteousness to
Right.
be established on the planet Earth.
That's right.
They didn't give a fuck about wherever they was at that time period.
Right.
You know, they dwelt where they dwelt, but at the end of the day, they were concerned with the kingdom.
That's right.
It's 2nd Ezra chapter 4 and verse 35 in the Good News translation. Your questions are the same ones asked by the souls of the righteous,
Yep.
dead in the places where the Most High is keeping them waiting. How long must we wait here? When will the day of judgment come? When will we get our reward?
Yeah. How long must we wait here? When will Judgment Day come? When will we receive of our reward? Right. Go back to that. Before you go back, go to Psalm 7 and 9. Right. Just to add on to that. 'Cause, hey, that's the spirit you're supposed to be in, man. Constantly wondering, like, man, you know, when is the Lord going to set this thing off? When is He going to crash the economy? When is that? When they going to usher in that chip? See what I'm saying? When they going to come and when are they going to physically come down upon the saints of the Lord? Demon, you know, all these things that we were warned of. Right? Go ahead, Al.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 7 and verse 9. Oh, let the wickedness of the wicked come to an end.
Oh, let the wickedness of the wicked come to an end. That's the spirit you're supposed to be in. If you're not in that spirit, then you ain't of the Lord, man. Right, you are the world. Go ahead.
But establish the just.
But establish the just. So, hey, oh, let the wickedness of the wicked come to an end. How long, O Lord? Right? So you go back to that Ezra 4. Yeah, you got it, brother. Yep.
It's the book of Psalm chapter 70.
For the righteous power trieth the hearts and reins.
Yep. Let me finish.
Hey, but that trying the heart and reins, man, it's gonna pull you out of those situations, man. You know, it's gonna be that bridle that guides you. It's the same way a bridle guides a horse. The ways of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua are gonna be that guide to get you through Jacob's trouble.
That's right, brother.
This is the book of Psalm chapter 70 and verse 1. Just going into the spirit that we're supposed to be in, man.
That's it.
It says, make haste, O Most High, to deliver me. Make haste to help me, O Lord. Let them be ashamed that confounded. Let them be ashamed and confounded that seek out my soul. Let them be turned backward and put to confusion that desire my hurt. Let them be turned back for a reward of their shame that say, aha, aha. Let all those that seek thee rejoice and be glad in thee. And let such as love thy salvation say continually, let the Most High be magnified. But I am poor and needy. Make haste unto me, O Most High.
And I want to say this too, when this destruction, when the Lord allows these missiles to hit America, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is going to be glorified because they're going to know that the power of Israel is behind that. Right?
There's no cloak for, the scriptures speak about how there's no cloak for their sins.
Yeah.
So the Lord was made manifest to the whole world by the men of the Lord that He set up.
That's it.
You know, we brought out the truth of the scriptures, you know, made it plain upon the table, but as the scriptures say, they fan their hand.
That's it.
You know?
They waved us off.
They waved us off. They rejected us. They said these dudes is crazy. Well, in the end of the day, we're going to see who was really crazy.
That's it.
You was under a strong delusion. We were given the spirit of clarity in a world full of darkness.
That's it.
Continuing on. Psalm 70 and 4. Let all those that seek thee rejoice and be glad in thee.
That's right.
And let such as love thy salvation say continually, let the Most High be magnified.
That's right.
But I am poor and needy. Make haste unto me, O Most High. Thou art my help and my deliverer. O Lord, make no tarrying. You know, so we're asking the Lord not to tarry, man. To make haste to come quickly and destroy this place, man. Remove this wicked man out of power, man. Get these heathen, you know, into their correct state of subjection, man. To get us out of bondage, man. You know, from in the midst of this wickedness, man.
Yep.
You know, to get us out of these chains of darkness, these weak bodies, man. That's what we're asking the Lord to make haste and to come hurry, man.
Right. I got you. 2 Peter chapter 3. Right? 2 Peter chapter 3, start at verse 9, and it reads, it says, the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, is not slack concerning his promise, as some men count slackness, right? You scoffers, you non-believers, you count these prophecies as slackness because it's not happening on your time. Like they say, you know, we've been hearing about the end of the world. People have been talking about that. When is it actually going to happen? But as you pay attention to the prophecies, you can actually see that this thing is literally at the door, as the scriptures say. The tokens, man. So there's no denying that the Bible prophecies is true, right? It says, but as long suffering towards us, we're not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance. All of Israel is not going to come into repentance. Only the elect, right? This is why we're in the time of grace, to get in order, to get ourselves together, right? To put ourselves on the right hand, on the right side of the Lord. Verse 10, but the day of the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai, will come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise. That's that nuclear destruction, right? And the elements shall melt with fervent heat. And the earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up. So how else is that going to happen, man? All right? That's the spirit, as we talked about, how the angels control the minds of these world leaders, and the angels of the Lord are putting the spirit on these world leaders for World War III. Hey, Vladimir Putin is ready to blow this shit up, man. Right? Remember last week, there was an attempt on his life. They tried to assassinate him. And then he blamed it on what? America. Right? He said America and Ukraine was behind that assassination attempt. So that's an act of war, man. Right? So this thing is literally about to go down, man. Right?
Like we discussed last time. That was the catalyst of World War I. The assassination attempt. Well, that was actually an assassination attempt that went through. But how much more in these times?
Yep.
You know? These times are getting closer and closer, man.
Absolutely.
Putin not gonna wait around to let y'all keep trying to drop knock his head off.
Right.
No, I'm sure.
Right. They keep trying to take him out. It ain't working. Because the Lord, really, it's the Lord that's protecting them. Because the Lord will put the spirit on them to push the button. See? They're trying to take him out. Verse 11, it says, seeing that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of person ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness? The point, verse 12, 2 Peter 3:12. Looking for and hastening unto the coming day of God, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Right? So we're looking for that day. Because that day has to come in order for us to obtain the kingdom of heaven. We got faith in our belief that when this goes down, the Lord is going to take us up. You know, we're going to have refuge in the chariots, man. Because the Lord said that what? According to Psalms 91, let me get that. The Lord said that we will see the reward of the wicked. Let me get that real quick. This is Psalms 91 and verse 7. I start at 6. Psalms 91 verse 6, it says, nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday. Noonday represents the height of Esau's power, man. Right? We're at the climax of the so-called white man's power, man. You see, he's pushing transformism, sodomy, right? He's pushing all this wickedness, pedophilia, right? We got World War III on deck, all these different things, man. We're at the height of this thing, man. Just when you thought it could get worse, it's going to get worse, right? It says, 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh unto thee, right? So the Lord is going to preserve his men throughout that destruction, man. It says, verse 8, the point, only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked. See that? So the Lord said that we were going to physically see the reward of the wicked. And how that's going to happen is when the elect get taken up into the chariots with the world that calls UFOs, we're going to be looking down from the heavens on earth, watching America burn in various parts of the earth. The Lord said we're going to see the reward, man. You see that?
Speak about how it's a reward to see the fall of your enemies.
That's it.
You know, 'cause this man has oppressed our people tirelessly. This nigga, he's forwarding the agendas to destroy you tribes primarily, man.
Right.
And he does it in such subtlety that our people, they just go along with the shit.
Right.
You know, not even understanding that our people are worse off than we've ever been.
That's it.
You know? If I could get a precept just to add to it. We were in Psalm 7. It goes in a little just to add to it. Psalm 7 and 10. My defense is of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, which saveth the upright in heart. So those that have been given the Holy Spirit, the hopeful elect, Lord willing, we be preserved to the very end.
That's it.
The Lord will preserve and deliver us. He will be a defense for us, especially in the times that we're coming into right now.
Right.
We've got a full-fledged economic fallout,
Yep.
right? World War III on the precipice. The Karagma, that implantable chip that's going to be used to enslave the masses of the people.
Yep.
And that's the device that is the MOTB written in Revelations 13 and 16,
Yep.
which garners you the judgment of Revelations 14, 9 through 10. The Lord is going to be defensive to us, right? Continuing on, verse 11.
Yeah, you got Bill Gates buying up all the farmland, giving you this GMO food, this lab-created meat, which is causing cancer, sickness, and killing people. Right? This is all being done right now, man.
This devil is promoting his way. He's literally trying to X out the natural way, which is the way that Yahweh Bashim Yahushai deemed right.
Right.
When the Elohim were in the heavens, after each day they said what? And it was good. Meaning that it's perfect, bro. You ain't have to you ain't had to do anything else, it's good. Like we trying to make GMO this. Well, I think we need to make some alternative meat.
Yeah, genetically modify this in the name of science and technology, which has corrupted the planet, man. Right?
That's why I say he who smote the earth is a continual stroke, man. Now every move this man makes is malicious, man.
Right.
Everything they think about is to how to bring more death into the world, man. They're not doing these things for the betterment of society or for the betterment of the environment, for the betterment of the people, man. They're just doing these things to try to call off as many people as possible. Man.
Right. You got it out.
Verse 11. Yahweh Bashim Yahushai judges the righteous, and Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is angry with the wicked every day.
Hey, the Lord is angry with the wicked every day. Right? Scriptures tell you that salvation is far from the wicked, man.
What did he save it from?
What does he need to be saved from? He's in his power. He's on the throne right now, man.
Right.
Ruling the world in wickedness. Right?
Right. Because as we read in Isaiah the 13th chapter, we went up to the gates of the nobles. They know what they're doing. They know they're going off. But the scriptures tell you in Habakkuk the 2nd chapter that the spirit that's within him is not upright. This nigga can't get it.
Nope.
He don't want to get it. Because that's how the Lord orchestrated this devil to be, man.
That's it.
He was given that spirit to be the antagonist of the story.
Yep.
Continuing on. Verse 12. If he turn not, he will whet his sword. He hath bent his bow and made it ready.
Yep. Missiles.
He hath also prepared for him the instruments of death.
See, he has also prepared for him the instruments of death.
Woo!
See?
Instruments of death. Meaning them shit's gonna play death. The instrument is supposed to use that shit to play something.
Right.
And they're gonna be playing off millions upon millions of dead bodies, man. Because that's their intention. That shit, like Quanawaf said, that shit ain't finna sit up in no museum. Think about this. A nuclear missile deteriorating? Like, how does that even look? Like, you just got nukes just sitting in a silo, like, that shit might blow the fuck up.
Right.
Continuing on. He ordaineth his arrows against the persecutors.
Woo, the missiles, man. Against the persecutors, these Edomites. Go ahead.
That ordaineth. This is a judgment. Verse 14, behold, he travaileth with iniquity, and have conceived mischief, and brought forth falsehood.
Yep.
That's what we saw Edom to a T.
Yep.
This nigga has done nothing but mischief, iniquity, and falsehood. John 10 and 10, right? The thief cometh but to steal, kill, and destroy, man.
Yep.
That's all Esau M.O., like the brother Quanawal said. This nigga, he just does everything with malice intent.
Right.
So where you be like, damn, like, you doing this shit to your own people at this point.
He's not going to stop.
He's not going to stop.
Read that again, huh?
God. Psalms chapter 7 and verse 14. Behold, he travaileth with iniquity,
Yep.
and hath conceived mischief, and brought forth falsehood.
Right. That's his legacy. That's the legacy of the Edomite, man. Falsehood, lies, destruction. Going all the way back to the time he got back into the power seat, man. During the time of the Renaissance. Right? The rebirth. The establishment of that Greco-Roman Empire system in the earth, man, where he forwarded lies, man. Iconoclasm, he put himself up as the Son of God, blasphemy of the Holy Spirit, right? He said that he was the chosen people, you know, changed the course of history. You see what I'm saying? So many different things you can go into, man. But that's his legacy, man. And it's all being revealed in this time right now, man.
He hates that shit. That's why these people are at the point where they like, look, we need to just hide the internet.
Right.
Hide the internet because we getting exposed left and right.
Right.
4K. TikTok is just lighting niggas up.
Gone.
Like, damn, did you know this person right here or this company right here was
Right.
based in? And there be some dark ass, dirty trail
Yeah.
for some people or entities that you think are in high regard, but the way how they got there is trifling as shit.
Yeah. That's the way of the Edomite, man. You see that? Everything he got was off of what? Rape, robbery, and murder. Unjust gain, lies, deception, man. Fraud. See? Go ahead.
Psalm 14:1. The fool saith in his heart, there is no God. They are corrupt. They have done abominable works. There is none that doeth good. So as the brother was going into, man, they might look good on the outside, man, but when you dig into the history of the vast majority of these people, man, they all go back to blood money, man. They go back to rape, robbery, and murder, as the elder mentioned, man.
Right.
All these things are rooted in evil, man.
That's it.
It said, the Lord looked down from heaven upon the children of men to see if there were any that did understand and seek the Most High. They are all gone aside. They are all together become filthy. There is none that doeth good, no, not one. So it's not one good Edomite, man. You know, regardless of what Joe at the job say, man. You know, he might smile in your face at the coffee pot or the water cooler talk or whatnot. But when it comes time, when the Lord puts that pure Esau spirit on them, man, you know, these people they're gonna revert back to that spirit. You know, that pure, seeking death, seeking destruction, man. The only reason that we don't see that in the world today is because of the social contracts that people have agreed to, man. But once society begins to crumble, we're gonna see, people completely lose their minds, man.
Hey, because at the end of the day, this is the Lord, man. This is the word of the Lord telling you of your enemy, telling you, oh, not one is good. So you ain't got no business thinking in the back of your head, well, damn, I mean, he kind of cool, like, he's all right. No, the Lord is telling you clear as day that your enemies, none of them are good. As the brother Cornwall said, these social constructs, when all of this shit gets out the window and it's full-fledged martial law, societal collapse, we're going to see the true attributes of the Edomite.
Yeah.
It's going to be clear as day then.
Yeah, you're going to see he ain't dwelling with the Holy Spirit.
Oh.
Right?
Edomite Christians.
Right. It's all an act.
Right.
You know? Go ahead. What was you back? We was holding something? Go back to what you was holding. Yes. Yeah, we had to make that point about how you said that how the prophets come back in their lot, in their time.
2nd Ezra chapter 4, verse 35. Did not the souls also of the righteous ask questions of these things in their chambers, saying, how long shall I hope on this fashion?
Right.
When cometh the fruit of the floor of our reward?
Yep.
And unto these things Uriel the archangel gave them answer and said, even when the number of seeds is filled in you.
Yeah, see, even when the number of seeds is filled in you. And that means that the prophets would always come back in their lot into the end. They would continue to come back over and over again in the reincarnation until the end of time, to the end of this age, the end of this world. So once again, the prophets of old, guess what? They back now, man. Right? Go ahead.
For he hath weighed the world in the balance. By measures hath he measured the times, and by number hath he numbered the times. And he doth not move nor stir them until the said measure be fulfilled.
Right, so all these empires that existed at one point, they had their rise, they had their fall, right? Now we're at the what? We're at the final rulership of the heathen, which is the Edomites.
Right.
Right? And once they're out of the way, then we're going to obtain forever.
Right.
See?
Because if I could add to you, right? The Lord is a judge. He has the law, statutes, and commandments, and he was allowing these heathen to build a case before he came down with that gavel. Just like how Esau be with the feds. The feds will let Jake try and accumulate all this bullshit they have going on, and then they whack you upside the head so they can hit you with the ultimate okie doke.
Yep.
Like, damn, yeah, you hit with the Rico.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But the Lord coming with something way worse than a Rico.
Right.
He coming with the missiles. He coming with bondage. And he's coming with 1,000. After that 1,000-year period, your ass is going to be taken off the earth, man.
Extermination. He coming with extermination. Imagine knowing that, look, after 1,000 years, you won't exist as a people.
You see why Esau crazy.
That's crucial, right?
Like, you see why this nigga want to chip up everybody.
Right.
Like, I see why this nigga's glass.
Right. Got something real quick. Acts 17 and 26. It says, "And have made of one blood all nations of men for to dwell on the face of the earth, and have determined the times before appointed, and the bounds of the habitation." So the Lord already had it up before, going back to the 4 beasts in Daniel the 7th chapter. Before they even exist, the Lord already knew what time they were going to rise and the time where they were going to fall. So how much more the Edomite in the last days? The Lord said, pursuant to what, Job 14:5, that he set bounds that he cannot pass, man. So like we read earlier in Psalms 91, we're at the pinnacle, man. This is it. Yep.
Job chapter 20, verse 4.
Yep.
Knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon earth,
Yep.
that the triumphing of the wicked is short?
See that? The triumphing of the wicked is short. His time is expired. Go ahead.
And the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment.
Right, the joy of the hypocrite, but for a moment, because it seems like these devils got it. It's like they winning right now, you know. But it's just for a moment, man. Right? He's only been ruling for a moment, for a small season. Not even with a whole day, right? You know, he's been ruling for no more than a half a day, because the day of the Lord is what, 1,000 years, right? You see what I'm saying? So he's only been in rulership and power for only yet a half a day or somewhat. You know? And here it is. Jacob, who's next to rule, we gonna rule forever, man. It's gonna be a perpetual rulership. Isaiah 45 and 17. Israel shall be saved with the everlasting salvation, man. All right? A kingdom where there's no end. Imagine that, man. 1,000 years under the power of Yahweh Bashim Shah, the world in righteousness. Imagine how that world gonna look, man. How the kingdom gonna look. Go ahead, Doc.
Continuing on, verse 6. Though his excellency mount up to the heavens, and his head reach unto the clouds.
Yeah, going into his pride, man. His pride is in the heavens. How do we know? Because we see it openly on display. Noah, Yuval Harari, the technocracy that they've been talking about, that demon Charles, what's his name, Klaus Schwab. You know, these devils openly boasting like, look, we got basically we're more powerful than God right now. What did he say? We have achieved divine power, he said. Right?
Power of creation and destruction.
There you go. So his head is in the clouds right now. He said in his heart that I should be like the Most High. Go ahead, Doc.
Continuing on. Verse 7. Yet he shall perish forever like his own dung.
Yeah, like his own shit. You flush that shit away, you never see it again. And that's what's going to happen to Esau's empire, man. Lord's going to flush his ass, man. Right?
They which have seen him shall say, where is he?
Where he at?
He shall fly away as a dream and shall not be found.
Right, what happened to that boy? Go ahead.
He shall be chased away as a vision of the night.
Yeah, he should be chased away as a vision of the night, like a bad dream. Right? Go ahead.
The eye also which saw him shall see him no more, neither shall his place any more behold him.
Right, I got a precept. Right? Because he's out of there. This is Job. Let me add on to that, man, because this is it. You ain't going to see him. The scripture say he would have no name in the street. His remembrance shall perish from the earth. This is Job 18 and 15. I'll start at 14. Job 18 and 14, it says, his confidence shall be rooted out of his tabernacle. And we see that now, man. The confidence, especially when it comes to the public, people lack the comfort. Yeah. People lack the comfort, the confidence in the system, you know, in the presidency, the political officers, right? People don't believe in shit right now, man. Yeah, the media, Christianity is dead. So everything that gave Babylon confidence, the Lord is rooting it out.
Stronghold.
It says, his confidence shall be rooted out of his tabernacle, and it shall bring him to the king of terrors, Yahweh Shai. It shall dwell in his tabernacle because it is none of his. And how did he get America? The rape, robbery, and murder of the tribes. Right? This land was none of his. It says, brimstone shall be scattered upon his habitation. Right? The destruction, the fire. His roots shall be dried up beneath, and above shall his branch be cut off. Right? Your branch going into like your lineage, your posterity, your line. The Lord's going to cut it off. It says,
these niggas have never changed. I hate when Jake tries to push this notion that Esau has changed. He the same sleazeball, he just go about it a different way than his ancestors.
right.
Like Quanawal said, these niggas sign social contracts. But when the need be broken, they're quick to do that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right. It says, verse 17, his remembrance shall perish from the earth. Think about that, man. His remembrance is going to perish from the earth. You ain't going to have no recollection of the Edomite, what he was doing, where he was at. His all the remembrance of who he is or who he was is going to perish from the earth, man. Right?
It's like Akim always say, Esau is a cancer. You know what I'm saying? You get rid of cancer, you ain't thinking about that shit no more. You just go on with your life.
Exactly. His remembrance shall perish from the earth. He shall have no name in the street. He shall be driven from light into darkness and chased out of the world. And that's happening now, man. It's like we say, everybody wants a piece of this goddamn Edomite. Everybody wants a piece of this nigga, man. You didn't rape, rob, pillage lands, resources. You didn't oppress nations, right? You didn't put sanctions on every goddamn body, right? Like the scripture said in Isaiah 14, he persecuted and none hindereth, man. This nigga has went on a rampage throughout the earth, man.
Yeah, going all the way back to his inception is Cain.
God.
If I may.
Exactly.
Genesis 4 and I'll start at verse 13. And Cain said unto the Lord Yahweh, my punishment is greater than I can bear. So here it is, as you know the story. When Cain went up to make a sacrifice to the Lord, he gave an unrighteous sacrifice. He was supposed to give forth meat. He was supposed to give forth the first
things of the flock.
And Abel gave forth a righteous sacrifice, and behind having that type of disdain for his brother, he killed him, right? And here it is, the Lord has given him his judgment, and he has a weak-minded bitch spirit like he does today, where he's saying that this punishment is too great to bear. He's getting called out today for all the wickedness that he's done, and niggas want to talk about that's the past.
Right.
Let bygones be bygones. No, nigga, you got a heavy-ass payment. You have blood on your hands for centuries, man.
Nobody gets away.
Nobody gets away. Matter of fact, I'll read what it says right here in my sword. When it says, my punishment is greater than I can bear. It says, mine iniquity is greater than that it may be forgiven. So this nigga knows in his heart, when he goes throughout the world, rape, robbing, and pillaging, he's so ill with it, but he knows in the back of his conscience, shit that I do, man, it's gonna be a heavy ass coat of paint. That's why these Edomites are up in arms saying, look, we finna just roll out that Karagla, man. Because we gotta get control of the people that are gonna eventually come up against us. Right? Verse 14, the point, behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be hid, and I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth. And it shall come to pass that everyone that findeth me shall slay me.
Yep.
And that's the tensions that we coming into right now, man. Esau is being prepared to be slain, man. Because this nigga, he's going throughout the whole earth, rape, robbing, pillaging, causing mischief, iniquity, right? Destroying the planet, destroying the ecosystem, the minds of the masses. Hey, he at the point where he just got to be taken out.
Yeah.
You know?
Ain't no repentance, ain't no forgiving.
No.
He knows he's a dead man. That's why, going back to Cain, as we brought out, you know, he would be a wanderer. He would be a fugitive. You know, Cain would be on the run. It's the same thing going on today, right? Because when you go into the history and you do studying, pretty much you find out that Amalek is behind all of this shit that's going on, man. All these wicked movements. They have the money. They've been funding everything that's anti-Messiah on the earth. You know, the destruction of the small hats, man. They've caused so much hurt, pain to the planet Earth and its people. Hey, it's just simply time for them to go. Right? The Lord hasn't forgotten. Matter of fact, let me get that. The Lord didn't forget anything that he's done. Right? This is Psalm. All right, this is Psalm chapter 10. In verse 11. Psalms 10 and 11, and it reads, He saith in his heart, God hath forgotten. He hideth his face, he will never see it. And that's the mindset of Esau. That he's forgotten all the crimes that he's done in the past. The Lord didn't see it. Right? Right. Verse 12, it says, Arise, O Lord, O power, lift up thy hand, forget not the humble. Wherefore doeth the wicked contemn God? He hath said in his heart, thou wilt not require it. Yeah. Basically, the Lord ain't going to investigate. He ain't going to find out. He ain't going to require. He's not going to require it. When the scriptures tell you in Ecclesiastes 3 and 15, that the Lord requires which is past. So, hey, everything you've done is still on the table, man. Going all the way back. Going all the way back to Cain. Going all the way back to the Greeks. Because when the Greeks came into power, back when Alexander, when he died and he parted his kingdom to the 4 generals, what did it say? Evils were multiplied in the earth, man. Because a lot of that bestiality and pedophilia, it goes back to the Greeks, which are Edomites, man. All right? These so-called white people today. They're the main ones spearheading all of this shit, all of this wickedness in the earth today. Right? And the Lord ain't forgot about none of that, man.
Right. You have these average everyday Joes that walk by up and down the street and they make these little scrawny faces and shit. Well, that's just what we just read, bro.
Right.
You know that we slaying you in the spirit and it's about to turn physical.
Right.
You know? Not us slaying you physical. You know, he's trying to try and take that shit from you.
Right.
But hey, these nations are preparing to make war against you, man. You know?
I could jump down to that verse 15. So Psalm 10 and 15.
Got it.
Just land backing off what the elder was saying, man. It says, break down the arm of the wicked and the evil man. Seek out his wickedness till thou find none. So all that wickedness is going to be found out. It's going to be uprooted, man. Right? Until that find none. Scriptures talk about he's going to remove all things that offend, man. So all these things that Esau has done, you know, throughout the generations, man, all these things are going to be brought up, and he's going to receive his just reward, man.
Sure. We just read Psalm 7 chapter, right? What did he say? That the Lord was angry with the wicked every day. The book of Malachi tells you in the first chapter that the Edomites were the border of wickedness, meaning that wherever they go, wickedness is found. So the Lord angry with Esau wherever that motherfucker is at. And he's about to get pulled up out of this seat of authority because he's an unjust ruler. He is the wicked.
I got something real quick. This is Proverbs 29 and verse 16. And it reads, it says, when the wicked are multiplied, transgression increaseth. But the righteous shall see their fall. Ooh, man. And that day is coming, man. When the wicked multiply, transgression increaseth. Right? And the scriptures also tell you that in Job, I forgot where it was at, but it talks about if the wicked multiply, it is for the sword. See that? That's the reason why you see all these Edomites in the earth today. Because they're being multiplied for the sword, man. Right? Isaiah the 14th chapter, man. You know, you got to pay for the iniquities of your forefathers, man. Which is really you coming back. Right? So, hey, man, the way the Lord has this thing set up is beautiful, man. You know? The day of reckoning is coming. You got it, whatever you got. Or we can go back to that Joel, the 3rd chapter, whatever y'all brothers got. It's all the spirit anyway.
Job 21 and verse 13, they spend their days in wealth and in the moment go down to the grave.
Man, here it is. You on top of the world, you own everything, and then a moment, death and destruction, man. Just like that. Go ahead.
Verse 14, therefore they say unto Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, depart from us, for we desire not the knowledge of thy ways.
Yep. And that's the mindset of Esau, man. They say within themselves, depart from us. We desire not the knowledge of thy ways. This is why they've gotten rid of the Lord out of America, man. You know, they X'd out the Lord. They're trying to get rid of the Bible. All the laws and decrees of the land are against the scriptures, man. Because, hey, the mindset is what? We desire not your ways. Esau will be quick to tell you how science is over the Most High, or how he's an atheist or something like that. Right? They'll fight you over that shit. They'll fight you tooth and nail to prove to you how God doesn't exist. Right?
Yeah, as Elder Yashawamba went into earlier today, man, they writing trans Bibles, they writing pagan Bibles, they going in and trying to chop up the scriptures to fit their narratives, man.
Exactly.
But these are the same people that say they don't believe in the Most High.
The scriptures say to turn up the truth into a lie. Because these devils are well aware of the truth, man. But as the brother Kwanawar said, they use it to their benefit. And this ensnared the minds of a lot of these people to think that he is who he say he isn't. Or pardon me, he isn't who he say he is.
Right.
You know, because a lot of people, they really think that this man is holy. They really subjected themselves to thinking that the biblical Edomites, which are the so-called white people today, are the actual children of the Lord. They did iconoclasm in the 1600s during the Renaissance period. This is information that's readily available.
Right.
You know? But he's ensnared their minds to think that what he says is wrong and what the Most High says is not true. And now the Lord is tearing down those strongholds continually.
Right, but the scriptures tell you that his words are smoother than butter, because really his words are a form of sorcery. He knows how to beguile you through his words, man. Hey, going all the way back to the serpent in the garden. I know where it is. Who did he go to first? To the woman. And he beguiled Eve to the point where she actually believed in that philosophy, that dark philosophy that she took on.
Look what they did with this idol that they dropped back in 2020. The Jabberwocky punch. Right. They went ahead, got Eve. I don't care what's in it. Put it in me.
Right.
Put it in me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now you got shit all up in your body. You don't know what it is.
Exactly.
Because you listening to the fucking enemy.
Right.
Esau got game, man.
He know how to spit. Right. He know how to woo you off your feet, man. Go ahead.
For we desire not the knowledge of thy ways.
Yep.
What is the Almighty that we should serve?
Yeah, that's how the Edomites. That's how the so-called white man is. Their mindset is like, who's the Lord that we should serve? Like, who's to say? Like, we see it out in the streets. Who's to say that I'm supposed to fear the Lord? You know?
They try to set themselves up. You know, they may not say it outwardly, but with their actions, they do.
Right.
You know?
Like, who's God? You know? That's what they say. Go ahead.
And what profit should we have if we pray unto him?
Yeah, what profit should we have if we pray unto the Lord? Right? And actually, it's nothing, because the Lord ain't dealing with you. Right? Esau have I hated, you know, but Jacob have I loved. Right? Salvation is far from the wicked, man. Go ahead.
Verse 16, lo, their good is not in their hand.
Yep.
The counsel of the wicked is far from me.
There you go. The counsel of the wicked is far from the Lord. See that?
Verse 17, how oft is the candle of the wicked put out? And how oft cometh their destruction upon them?
Exactly.
The Most High distributed sorrows in his anger. Verse 18, they are as stubble before the wind, and as a shaft that the storm carrieth away. Speaking of the nuclear destruction, which we've spoken on throughout the camp. This is the destruction that the Lord is preparing to bring upon the wicked. You know, the heathen,
right?
Primarily Esau, Edom, the Amalekites, right? And 2/3 of our nation for refusing to turn back and repent to the Lord.
Right.
You know? Because they're all under the guidance of Esau. Esau is the king.
Respect.
You know? Verse 19. The Most High layeth up his iniquity for his children. He rewardeth him, and he shall know it. You know? So So a lot of these people, they'll say, oh, well, that was just my forefathers. The Lord calling your bullshit, right? The scriptures speak about reincarnation. You are your forefathers, and the reincarnation is coming back once more. All right? And you're gonna pay for the action that you've done in your past lives and now. You know? So it's no escaping the judgment of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. No matter how you try to twist it or make the words seem to benefit you and you fit your little narrative. Okay?
Yeah. That's why in that movie that came out in 2007, The Mist, you had the lady in the restaurant arguing with the people, in the grocery store, because they were trying to keep themselves alive from the attacks. But what did she say? She said, there is one God, the God of the Israelites. You know, and he's an angry God. We've been mocking him for way too long, right? And she said, what did she say? The bill is due and it must be paid. And Edomites was looking all crazy and shit, right? So whatever Amalek put that in that script, they knew what they was doing by putting that in the movie and having her say those exact words, right? They had her say those exact words because it's all biblical, man, right? But you never heard nothing like that mentioned in any other movie ever since, man. Like, she went straight to the point. The God of the Israelites is an angry God. He's basically coming to kill all of us. We've been pissing them off, mocking them, and now the bill is due and it must be paid, man. Super spiritual, man.
The Lord put a spirit on whoever made that movie.
Come on, man.
Just to draw that point. I'm gonna jump down right quick. Verse 27. Behold, I know your thoughts and the devices which you wrongfully imagine against me.
Yeah. See, Yahweh Shema Shah, he knows Esau is trying to round up the world and get them chipped in, if you want to say it that way. You know, he wants to get rid of Israel, because that's really ultimately what the plan is to genocide the Israelites, the so-called Negro, Latino, Native American, and Hispanic. So when the Lord comes back, he won't have anybody to save. See what I'm saying?
Sick ass plan.
And Esau knows that the seed of Israel is spread throughout the world. That's why they're like, look, we just got to get rid of everybody.
Matthew 24 and 22. The severity of the times and seasons we in, this nigga really trying to get rid of everybody. And just leave him alone.
Right. But he's doing it though. The Jabberwocky, the famines, right? The pestilences, people are dying because of the chemicals in the air and the food and the water. So he's doing it. But really it's all the will of Yahweh Shema Shai on the left hand side anyway.
They got what is that? Title 42.
Yeah.
That's about to come up tomorrow.
Yep.
And all these people at the border are about to come across and bring whatever plagues and pestilences that they've been dealing with.
Right.
You know, and all manner of people is about to be in America, man.
Yep.
You got niggas tapped in with the cartels.
Yep.
You got sleeper cells coming up through that shit.
MS-16, right?
Connections with bricks too. You know, it was a video of this guy. It was like a bunch of like Chinese middle-aged men that were like, you know, pretty. They had some good size on them, and he was keep calling that shit out. Like he just recording them like, y'all niggas, what y'all doing here?
Right.
Like y'all, all these Chinese men coming from the southern border.
Right.
Come on.
That's the invasion. There's an invasion going on, man. Hey, this Lord, Isaiah 47, Babylon will no longer be regarded as tender and delicate, man. So you got all types of, like you said, sleeper cells, ages, whatever, creeping into America, man.
They're gonna hit the big cities. They're gonna come into Texas. They're gonna get deported to these various U.S. cities like Chicago, Cali, New York, and they're gonna open them with open arms and shit. Hey,
They're going to lock this shit down.
They all shot.
But you see it, though, they're going to lock it down, man. Because there's been a lot of, especially with the Northern Kingdom, there's been a lot of Northern Kingdom putting people to death out here, man. Doing some, like, heinous crimes, man. So it's going to get to the point where Esau going to say, fuck it, he's going to lock all this shit down, man. This is going to get that crazy out here, man. But that's the prophecies. Go ahead,
Verse 28. For ye say, where is the house of the prince?
Right,
And where are the dwelling places of the wicked?
right,
Have ye not asked them that go by the way?
right.
And do ye not
Hold
know
on, cuz.
their tokens?
Hold on.
That
Oh.
the wicked is reserved to the
Come here,
day of
cuz.
destruction.
Let's talk
They shall
God,
be brought
bro.
forth to the day of wrath.
Right.
So the wicked are going to be, they're being preserved for the day of judgment, which we read in 2 Peter's, the 3rd chapter, right? This world, this current world is being preserved for the fire.
That's it.
That's going to be the judgment of the wicked, man.
Man.
Those arrows, right? Those soldiers that won't break their ranks, as we read in Joel, the 2nd chapter. This judgment is going to be a mighty judgment, man. Like Zaquan always referenced, the heat of these missiles, millions of degrees. Niggas get in the shower and they get hit with the hot water and they be ready to hop back out. And your spirit is going to be in that fire, being purified, man. The Lord is going to be judging you, man. That's why we tell you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans to get on par, man.
Right.
Why take part in the defeat of the wicked when you have the opportunity of life open to you, man?
Right. Get on the winning team. You got it, right? Whatever you got. Whatever you was holding to, yeah, whatever you bring it up. It's all the spirit. You know? Hey, because we ain't going to be out here forever, man. Hey, the Dallas Brothers is going into that. Hey, there's a time limit on this word, man. You know?
Through the spirit, we see it happening. All of these various mediums that are starting to try to switch the narrative and say that alternate media that goes against the status quo is starting to be galvanized on social media, on YouTube, Rumble, Odyssey. I mean, at this point, Esau is well aware of all these.
Right.
Because ultimately the Lord got it like that. But there's been so many things happening, so many catalysts that are preparing for that famine of the word to come about.
Right. Yeah, whatever y'all got. Yeah. You still holding on, letting know how to go through that again. You know, because we was talking about how the angels, because it all goes back to how the Lord is using the angels to guide forth these prophecies, man. He's putting the spirit on the kings of the earth for World War III to do this, to do that. Hey, this is all the Lord's movie, man. He's the one that wrote the script. You know, we just playing it out. Go ahead, Doc.
Joel 3, starting back in verse 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles.
Yep.
Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men.
That's right.
Let all the men of war draw near.
Let all the men of war draw near. All right. The gathering of troops, the nations, the tumults. Right. Go ahead.
Let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords.
Beat your plowshares into swords. Go ahead.
And your pruning hooks into spears.
Right. So these agricultural nations, all right, are becoming nuclear nations, man. Right. They got nuclear programs. They're building up their nuclear tech. They're doing exercises. They're doing drills. Right? Go ahead.
Let the weak say I am strong.
Yeah, let the weak say I am strong. So these nations that were regarded as weak, puny, now they got the capability. Go ahead.
Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen.
Yep.
And gather yourselves together round about.
See that? Assemble yourselves, all you heathen, and gather yourselves round about. Go ahead.
Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down. O Lord, let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Yahweh Shaphat.
Right, so it said, let the mighty ones come down, going back to the angels. The angels of the Lord are in complete order, man. Right? Give me Sirach chapter 39 and verse 31. And then somebody give me Psalms 103 verse 20. Just to show you that the angels, they move off the will of the Lord, man. Angels ain't out here just doing what they want to do. Right?
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 39 and verse 31. They shall rejoice in his commandment, and they shall be ready upon earth.
Woo! They shall rejoice in his commandment, and they should be ready upon the earth. Right? Go ahead.
When need is, and when their time is come, they shall not transgress his
You
word.
see that? When need is, and when the time has come, they shall not transgress his word, man. So the angels are on command. All right, whether it be on the left or on the right. As we read earlier in Job, the 2nd chapter, the counsel that the Lord had with the angels in heaven, and Satan was in the midst. And they put a bet on Job. Come on, man. Right? Give me that.
Psalm chapter 103 and verse 20. Bless the Lord, ye his angels,
Bless the Lord, ye his angels. Go ahead.
that excel in strength,
That's right.
that do his commandments,
That do his commandments. Go ahead.
hearkening unto the voice of his word.
Hearkening, listening to the voices of his word, man. Right? Go ahead.
Bless ye the Lord, all ye his hosts, ye ministers of his that do his pleasure.
Right, so not only the angels, and then you got the prophets, man. Right? Any more?
Verse 22, bless the Lord, all his works in all places of his dominion. Bless the Lord, O my soul.
Give me one more, Colossians 1 and 16 and 17. Right? So that we just cutting that madness of these angels just doing what they want to do. Right? You got these rebellious angels that's rocking with Satan. They just causing all this turmoil and chaos in the earth, man. And the Lord ain't got nothing to do with that.
Oh man, I lost control. Lost control.
Right.
The Lord is omnipotent.
Right. The Lord is in full control of his creation. Go ahead.
Colossians chapter 1, verse 16. For by him were all things created that are in heaven and that are in earth,
Right.
visible and invisible, whether they be thrones or dominions or principalities
Principalities. All right. The angels on the left hand and on the right. Go ahead.
or powers. All things were created by him and for him.
All things were created by him and for him. Yahweh Shah. Go ahead.
Verse 17. And he is before all things, and by him all things consist.
See that? He is before all things, and by him all things consist. Right? Hey, Yahweh Shah was the first created spirit from the Father, man. He's the living word. And all things were created by him, and by him all things consist. Right? So the Lord is in control of everything, man. Right? Go ahead, so we can go back to that. Yeah, bring it out.
It's Psalm chapter 47 and verse 2. For the Lord Most High is terrible. He is a great king over all the earth. You know, so everything that you see happening is at the behest of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah.
That's right.
He made the decree, you know, his word goes out and it's accomplished, man.
Sure.
And the angels are the ones who are doing his bidding, man. You know, they're the ones who are controlling the minds of all these people, all of us, right? He controls every single aspect. He controls your goings. So everything that you see happening is at the will of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah.
Heavy. Man's goings is of the Lord. How can man truly understand his way? See that?
To speak about that in Job, about the Lord seals the instructions of men in their night. You sleep.
That's right.
You have no control.
That's it. That cuts that free will madness. Right?
Damn, if you got free will, you fucked up.
Right.
So back in Joel chapter 3 and verse 12. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Yahweh Shabbat.
Yep.
For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about.
Yeah, Yahweh judges. He's going, hey, Yahweh Shem Al Shai is going to judge all the heathen in that region, man. Right? He's going to judge them with what? Hold that, Zechariah 14 and 12. Right? Because the Lord going to judge all the heathen, all the adversaries of the Israelites. They're going to be judged for what they've done to his people, for touching the apple of his eye. Right?
Zechariah chapter 14 and verse 12. And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord Yahweh will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem.
This is the plague where the Lord is going to smite against all the people that fought against Jerusalem, the Israelites. That plague is what? The nuclear destruction. Go ahead.
Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet.
Yep.
And their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth.
Right, so the Lord is going to melt. The Lord is going to completely melt these nations, man. Your eyes are going to consume in your holes. Your tongue is going to consume away out of your mouth. Right? That's a terrible and painful death. And that's the second death that the Lord is going to bring on the earth. Revelation chapter 20. Right? All those that have fought against Jerusalem. Finish it out, Joel.
Joel chapter 3 and verse 12. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Yahweh Shabbat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about.
That's right.
Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe.
Yeah, the harvest is ripe. The harvest is ready. It's time for the angels to reap. Matthew the 13th chapter. The scriptures tell you when Yahweh Shai comes on the scene, the angels are going to reap and gather all things that offend. and root them out. Go ahead.
Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe.
Yep.
Come, get you down, for the press is full.
Yep.
The fats overflow.
Hey, the vats overflow, man. It's time to reap now. Go ahead.
For their wickedness is great.
Yeah, for the wickedness, the wickedness you see on the earth is great, man. You know, it tells you that 2 Esdras, the 15th chapter, how the how wickedness has exceedingly polluted the whole earth. Right? Hey, the times we in on the earth are worse than the flood. Right? Think about that. And the Lord said that it grieved him that he created man. Right? At that time. So how much more in this time, man? Come on, man. Niggas openly talking about how they eating ass and doing all types of shit, man. Right? It's a real foul and degenerate spirit that's on 2/3 of Jacob. Right? That's why I say, Apostle Elders say it all the time. It's time for niggas to go, man. Right?
Jeremiah 16:11. Then shalt thou say unto them, because your fathers have forsaken me, saith the Lord Yahweh, and have walked after other gods, and have served them, and have worshipped them, and have forsaken me, and have not kept my laws, and ye have done worse than your fathers. For behold, ye walk every one after the imagination of his evil heart, that they may not hearken unto me.
Yep. Exactly. And this generation is the worst. Hey, we in the time of 2 Timothy, the 3rd chapter. In the last days, perilous times to come. Men should be lovers of themselves, blasphemers, disobedient, etc., man. We see that on a high level right now, man. Niggas are just openly rebellious. They don't even give a fuck, man.
Niggas glorifying that shit, bro.
It's a style now.
It's a trend. It's a trend to be a rebel. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't on no rebel for a good cause. Niggas just bad for no reason. Like damn, like bro, I seen a video. This is on top. I seen a video. They got this trend that started up where niggas go into the grocery store, niggas lick the fucking container of ice cream, and then put that shit back. And they be like, yo, we out. Like, nigga, why'd you do that? like what did you take?
This shit crazy.
It says, Ezekiel 9th chapter talks about the city is perverse, man.
Yeah.
And that word perverse goes into, basically you're willingly ignorant of the repercussions of your actions. You do these things not thinking about the consequences. It's Isaiah chapter 3, and I'll start in verse 8. For Jerusalem is ruined, and Judah is fallen, because their tongue and their doings are against the Lord, to provoke the eyes of his glory.
Because we know the way how you're supposed to live as an Israelite, the only way that you can actually live peacefully is adhering to the law, statutes, and commandments. So when you turned away from peace, you turned away from sovereignty, you turned away from eternal rest. And now you look at niggas today, they don't give a fuck. You try and tell them, yo, bro, you an Israelite, niggas will look at you like, what the fuck you talking about? And there's too much damn information out here for you to still be thinking you black, Hispanic, and Native American. At this point, you're avidly choosing those descriptions, man. You've cleaved unto the lifestyle of being a nigga. You've cleaved into the lifestyle of being a Hispanic, a Native American, and not subscribing, or not, I should say subscribing, but coming back to your heritage, man. And uplifting righteousness in your lifestyle.
Black is embedded in niggas.
Niggas is in that gross darkness.
Niggas is laden with black.
Yeah, did you know before they store?
That blackness can be cleansed out of Jacob.
The blackout. It's a blackout with niggas, man. Straight up.
This is Isaiah 3 and verse 9. The show of their countenance doth witness against them. They declare their sin as Sodom. They hide it not.
Yeah, there's no hiding no more. It's out in the open, man. These niggas is just out here in the open, wicked with it, man. Right?
Well, like I said in verse 4, they provoke the Lord, the eyes of his glory, man. They're basically, going against the Lord to his face, man. You know,
That's the big okay, that's the
it
big
says, for they, it's like, woe unto their soul, for they have rewarded evil unto themselves.
Yeah, you've been rewarded. You about to get it. Yeah. Hey, when the Lord, the scripture says, when Yahweh Shai comes, he's gonna give every man his reward according to his work. So you rewarded evil unto yourselves, right? Your prize is coming. Your gift is coming, right? It's gonna be by the way of fire. Go ahead. Hey, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes, right?
Verse 10, say ye to the righteous, that it shall be well with him, for they shall eat the fruit of their doings.
Yeah. Lord willing, that's us, man. We eat the fruit of our doings. You know? Lord willing, you know, what we doing right now, we're going to reap the benefits of it in the end. That's right.
Verse 11, woe unto the wicked, it shall be ill with him, for the reward of his hands shall be given him.
Yep.
Hey, that's the fun on that, man. Like, you're gonna be rewarded according to your works, as the elder mentioned. Right? Everything you do, the Lord he's taking account of, man. He got all the receipts, you know. He's got our tax season. He's about to do a major audit on things, man. You know, you're gonna come back and he's gonna see if you were lying on the forms that you put in, man.
Exactly.
You know, and the majority of our people, they're gonna get that death penalty.
Exactly. Got that PPP loan. You didn't have no business, right? You didn't have no clients, no nothing, man. Lying, right? You go collect, man. These niggas did that, man. That PPP loan. Hey, niggas got the PPP, was in Miami, at the beach, splurging, living good, man. Until Esau came and collected on their ass, man. You know? Same thing how the Lord gonna do. You got it, Doc. You finish out that Joel? Yeah, finish it out and we'll wrap it.
So back in Joel chapter 3 and verse 14. Multitudes in the valley of decision.
Multitudes in the valley of decision. All right, going into those multitudes of nations, man, that are being gathered up to be destroyed. Go ahead.
For the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision.
Yeah, the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision. And those nations are actually being gathered over there in the valley of Yahweh Shaphat right now. Go ahead.
The sun and the moon shall be darkened.
Yep.
And the stars shall withdraw their shining.
Uh-huh.
The Lord also shall roar out of Zion and utter his voice from Jerusalem. And the heavens and the earth shall shake. But the Lord will be the hope of his people.
That's right.
And the strength of the children of Israel.
That's right. Go ahead.
So shall ye know that I am the Lord your power, dwelling in Zion, my holy mountain.
That's right.
Then
that show you the mindset of the elect, the hopeful elect. They said that the Lord would be the hope of his people, man. The Israel of the Most High. Because in the midst of all this madness, who are we cleaving to? Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai.
That's right.
Start from the top again, verse 17. Joel 3 and 17. So shall ye know that I am the Lord your power, dwelling in Zion, my holy mountain. Then shall Jerusalem be holy, and there shall no strangers pass through her anymore.
Exactly, man. You know, we're going to dwell in safety alone, as the scripture says. This is our last captivity. Isaiah, the 40th chapter, it tells you that Jerusalem's welfare has been accomplished. You know, so we're in the time of what? Of redemption, salvation. Go ahead.
Verse 18. And it shall come to pass in that day that the mountains shall drop down new wine.
Yep.
And the hills shall flow with milk, and the rivers of Judah shall flow with waters, and a fountain shall come forth of the house of the Lord, and shall water the valley of Shittim.
Yeah, going into us having substance again, man. You know, relishing in the kingdom, man. Right? Enjoying the benefits of the kingdom. Go ahead.
Joel 3 and 19. Egypt shall be a desolation, and Edom shall be a desolate wilderness.
You see how Egypt and Edom are in that same precept? Showing you that Egypt and Edom are synonymous, man. Egypt, Edom, Mount Seir, Babylon, spiritual Sodom, Assyria, right? That's all tied back to Esau, Edom. Because we're in spiritual Egypt now. Right? The place of our captivity. Go ahead.
Egypt shall be a desolation, and Edom shall be a desolate
A
wilderness.
desolate wilderness, total destruction. Go ahead.
For the violence against the children of Judah,
Yep.
because they have shed innocent blood in their land. But Judah shall dwell forever, and Jerusalem from generation to generation.
That's it, man.
For I will cleanse their blood that I have not cleansed, for the Lord dwelleth in Zion.
That's right, man. And the scriptures tell you in Numbers, 35 and verse 33, that the land cannot be cleansed of the blood unless the blood of the person is shed. Give me that real quick. I'm paraphrasing it. But just give me the scripture. Numbers 35, 33. That's the only way this place is going to be cleansed. It's by the blood of him that shed the blood. Right?
So Numbers chapter 35 and verse 33. So you shall not pollute the land wherein ye are.
Yep.
For blood it defileth the land.
Uh-huh.
And the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it.
Right, so Esau got to shed. His blood has to be shed in order for the lands to be cleansed. Right? That's the righteous balance of the Lord. You know,
It's off the Bible, right?
right. You know? He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Right? He that leadeth into captivity must go into captivity, man. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. That's what we waiting on. That's the reparations. You know, the hell with some fucking 800 mil or whatever the hell they trying to gas Jacob with.
You couldn't pay us enough to stay here, man.
Right.
There ain't a dollar amount in the world for us to stay underneath Esau either, man.
Right.
Because regardless of what you get on this side, all your riches is still going to end up going back to them, man.
Yeah.
No, you still got to go to them for one of all things. You still got to live in the polluted land. You still got to deal with the Moism and the transisms and all this madness, man.
Right.
We need everything to be completely uprooted and refreshed, man. You know, factory reset on the whole earth.
Yeah, that's it.
Thank you.
Yeah, exactly. Because everything on this side is about to be melted away anyway. So what do you really have? What do you really own? You know, that's why the Lord told us to store up our treasures in heaven, man. Where moth do not corrupt, where rust won't rust, where thieves can't break in and steal. You know? Our conversations in the heavens, man. You know, so pray this camp was edifying, you know. Stay in the spirit, stay faithful. All right? Not a lot of time left. The Lord is about to close up shop with this word. All right, so stay diligent, stay edified, stay getting built up, man, to the best of your ability, man. You know, so we give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Bakakwadash. Hey, double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone who taught us this truth. Double salutations to all you Akim out there laboring in the house of David, the elect. Let's push this word with all truth, righteousness, and sincerity. Shalom to you, brothers. Hey, shalom.
Kwam Yasharal.
Hey, Kwam Yashala.
Abba,
Abba Ball. That's right.